Welcome to episode 5 of the Black and White Bistro, where black and white photographers meet. Our goal is simple: to provide a quality space where artists who enjoy black and white photography can come and get to know each other, and maybe even learn a little something from our guest artists. I'm the host of the Black and White Bistro show, DavidLPayne, known here on Vero as Kaiju Creative _Black and White. My personal photography journey began 40 years ago, but I didn't really get serious until 7 years ago when I got a Nikon D750 while living in Thailand. Since then, I've shot a variety of cameras spanning Micro Four Thirds and APS-C formats. Now, as an enthusiast, dedicated black and white photographer, my preferred creative tool of choice is the full-frame Leica Q2 Monochrome, which only shoots in 11 colors: black, white, and the 9 shades of gray in between. Today, we're proud to introduce you to Bastian, who makes his home in Hamburg, Germany. And now, coming to you from his home, here's Bastian.
I am delighted to be a guest at the Black and White Bistro and welcome all Vero friends to this episode. My name is Bastian Struck. I'm in my mid-40s and living in Hamburg in the north of Germany. I came in touch with photography through my mother, who took photos with a Pentax SLR camera. It was fascinating to see how you could take photos with the right choice of aperture and exposure time. And you had to wait for the development and prints. This made photography a bit magic. As I was a teenager, we did first experiments with the black and white phone. The years went by and photography faded into the background until I started taking photos again using a simple digital compact camera. The next step was my first Fujifilm camera about 10 years ago. It was followed by 2 more mirrorless cameras with interchangeable lenses. At first, I photographed in color. But I am fascinated by the timelessness and clear aesthetics of black and white photos. So in recent years, I have increasingly given preference to black and white photos. I started to take analog photos again with the old cameras. Thinking about each photo before I take it brings a calm and thoughtfulness back to photography. In addition to the advantages of digital, photography on film has a special aesthetic. I like the different types of film and the grainy look. I think there is still a lot to discover in photography.
Many thanks, my friend. Over the next few minutes, together we'll discover 3 of Bastian's personal favorite images and the story behind each. And also, hear his answers to 4 black and white photography questions we've prepared for him. Let's enjoy Bastian's first artist-selected image and learn the story behind it as he shares that story in his own voice.
It is a summer afternoon. Huge clouds drift across the sky. Individual gaps open up between the clouds and the sun illuminates certain areas of the earth like a spotlight. I was standing on the banks of the river Elbe, which flows through Hamburg, and thought that this strong contrast could be used well for a black and white photo. That's how I took this photo spontaneously. Although it was taken during the day, large areas are in the darkness due to the strong contrast. This intensifies the light of the sun on the water and gives the photo a special effect, guiding the eye to the boat. The knowledge that large container ships also pass through this section illustrates how unprotected the small boat is against the forces of nature.
We asked Bastian to tell us about his photography journey and when he decided to focus on black and white photography. Here's what he said. I've been interested in photography since I was a child. Back then, you took photos on film, which was expensive, and you had to wait to be able to see your results. When digital photography became affordable and the quality was good, I took my first photos again. About 10 years ago, I got more involved with photography. I'm fascinated by the timelessness and clear aesthetics of black and white photos, so in recent years, I've increasingly given preference to black and white photography. So much so, in fact, I've also started taking analog photos again with old film cameras. We asked Bastian, why does black and white photography appeal to him, and how does he know when he's created a truly special black and white photo? He said, in a world that's becoming ever louder and more colorful, where advertising flashes on every corner, good black and white photos are a haven of peace for me. I appreciate the beauty of light, shadows, shades of gray, and the timeless feel that black and white photos excel at. How do I know when I've created a special photograph? If the message and effect of the photo is stronger in black and white than in color, then it's a good black and white photo. I think a perfect photo is like a movie that tells a story with only one image. That's when I know that my photo has succeeded in being special. Now, let's enjoy Bastian's second artist-selected image and learn the story behind it.
I took this photo on the viewing platform, the Plaza, of the Elbphilharmonie in Hamburg, which is a concert hall. The Plaza, at a height of 37 meters, is open to the public and is popular with locals and visitors because it offers a great view over the port and the city. The building opens outwards in organic shapes. Huge curved glass doors offer protection from the always blowing wind. At the same time, this area offers an interesting photographic perspective. The light coming in from the front turned the people into silhouettes. The surrounding organic shape and the many spherical ceiling lights frame the scene. I like this kind of street photography that establishes the connection between people and their surroundings. Nobody feels like they are being watched, and that's what makes this photo so authentic and documenting the everyday life. This photo combines contrasts and different shapes, and for me, these are two essential elements that make a good black and white photo.
Our third question for Bastian was, what have you personally found to be the greatest challenge shooting black and white, and how do you overcome that challenge? He said, color can enrich a picture if it adds information and is not just colorful. Sometimes it's difficult to depict a mood in black and white only. For example, a sunset, some flowers, fashion. To overcome that challenge, I try to work with contrast, to compose the photo with a variety of different shades of gray, or to focus on shapes and structures. Our final question to Bastian was, for someone who's decided to start shooting black and white, what are the two best pieces of advice you can offer? He said shooting black and white in a world full of color is a challenge. Two things I'd suggest new black and white photographers keep in mind. First, black and white is all about light, or its absence. When viewing a scene through your viewfinder or on your LCD screen, think in terms of light and shadow, and how those two influence the feel of your image. Second, look for shapes and structures that'll help you compose your photo, giving it depth and interest for someone viewing your work. Oh, and one additional thought to keep in mind. You can't improve your black and white photography only by reading or watching YouTube videos. If you want to grow, you want to get better, you have to practice. So go out and shoot photos, lots of photos, and don't give up. Find your own style and develop that style instead of copying someone else's. Now let's enjoy Bastian's final artist-selected image and learn its story in his own words.
This is another example for street photography. While the athlete is in the center of the photo, this symmetry is broken by the bridge above and the stairs below. The diagonals give the photo a dynamic that matches the running, as well as the flag in the wind does. Sometimes I think that people and the public behave like artists on a stage. And on this photo, the city, or rather individual elements of it, form a stage. The sportswoman runs through the picture and, almost in the middle, meets a flagpole standing in the background, thus creating a connection between subject and object. So this photo could be seen as a short movie that contains just one frame. I also like the different shades of gray and the shapes that form an arrow pointing to the left.
Wow, another great episode. That brings us to the end of today's show. We hope you enjoyed meeting Bastian Struck and his amazing black and white artistry. To see more of his images, visit his gallery on Vero, share some likes, and consider following his photography journey. We'd like to thank Bastian for joining us on today's Black and White Bistro show. Would you like to have a chance to be featured on the Black and White Bistro? It's fairly straightforward. First, follow me at kaiju_creative_black and white. Second, start using our hashtag blackandwhite_bistro on your best black and white image posts. Finally, send me a DM on Vero, or you can send me an email introducing yourself and telling me about your interest. You'll find my email introduction information in the Linktree QR code on your screen now. If you enjoyed today's show, make sure to mark your calendar so you don't miss episode 6, coming exclusively on Vero on May 11. And don't forget, if you're not shooting black and white, you're only seeing half the picture. Now have a great weekend, get outside, and shoot some black and white photographs.